Sarah from Afro Latina World. I want to invite a very special guest. I'm very excited. Rhonda Massey. She is all over social media, especially on Facebook. She is a body trainer, and she also does personal training as well in North Carolina. Is that right, Rhonda?
South Carolina, yep.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Rhonda.
Okay, so I am 40 years old. I'll be 41 in August. I am married. I have 6 kids, 5 of them by marriage, 1 of them by birth. So we're kind of like the Brady Bunch over here. I love sports. Lifetime athlete. Been a competitor all my life. My husband and I, we own Mass Elevation Training. It's a sports and wellness company. We teach kids how to play sports, skills training, and basketball. And we also personal train adults, keeping their bodies in shape, teaching them how to take care of themselves physically, helping them lose weight, and get in the best physical shape of their lives. So that's the work I'm most proud of. That's the work I always talk about. I do have a regular 9 to 5, but it's pretty boring. But I love personal training. Thank you.
Awesome. Rhonda, so tell us a little bit, let's start from the beginning, right? How did you get to where you at now? What was the beginning story of that long journey? And it's still a journey, right?
It is. It's a lifestyle, but it's also a journey. So like everybody, you know, I kind of had that aha moment of, oh my gosh, I let myself go. It's one of those things that you just kind of just pay attention to everything and everybody else, trying to take care of your family, your kids, your home, and you kind of put yourself on the back burner. And I had one of those aha moments where I kind of saw myself outside of myself, and I was just like, oh no, ma'am, you got to pull it all the way together. And I kind of just made that decision. It wasn't one of those, you know, I got diagnosed with anything in particular. It was just, I looked at myself and I said, that's not who you are. I had gained probably like 40 or 50 pounds. And at 5'3", that's a lot. I was a little over 200 pounds. I was more, I weighed more, I think, than I did when I was pregnant with my daughter. And so I literally had that come to Jesus meeting with myself, and had this conversation of, okay, you got to do this. You got to take care of yourself. Stop putting yourself on the back burner, and, you know, take care of your health, because high blood pressure runs in my family. Diabetes runs in my family. I have strokes and cancer, and I didn't want to help my family genetics, you know, and getting sick. I wanted to do anything and everything I could to prevent that from happening. So I just kind of decided, I committed. I remember the day like it was yesterday, and I have not turned back ever since then. So that was the beginning of my story, the beginning of this journey of being a bodybuilder and personal training and owning the company that we have.
Okay. Now, you always been a competitive, and always, since young age, you always were in sports, correct?
Right.
Okay, so it was easy to transition from, you stopped for a little while, but you came back, but it's in your heart, it's in your nature to work out and to play sports. But what about for those that were kind of lazy on that end? What advice do you have?
You know, and a lot of the women that come to me, a lot of my clients, have never lifted a weight, never, you know, ran on a treadmill. They were not athletes in high school or in school. So I just literally just tell them, look, I'm going to teach you. It's one day at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself. That's my advice. Don't overwhelm yourself. Do what you feel comfortable with, and then little by little, just keep challenging yourself to do something new. I never want to take my clients too fast, too soon. because you want it to be something that is easily transitioned into and it feels good and you can see your progress and you can look back and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. But I will say that a lot of the women that come to me that have never been into athletics or sports or, even sweating, they end up enjoying it because it's something that they're not used to. It's outside of their norm. And when you are absolutely confident and you're succeeding at something that you thought you could never do, that's just that sense of fulfillment. It's just awesome. So my advice would be just take it one day at a time. Start out with what you're comfortable with, like walking, and then that can go into maybe doing an elliptical, and then that elliptical can turn into the Stairmaster. Just do it, slowly, little by little, one day at a time.
Okay, awesome. What now? With everything that's going on, COVID-19, we're still living in that world. And a lot of people have gained a lot of weight because we had to stay home and we're working from home. What are the little advice you could give as far as food wise, what we could do at home to make things better for ourselves?
So the best advice that I can give is don't eat mindlessly. We have a habit of sitting on the couch and eating mindlessly, just, and I think that is the worst thing that we can do during this pandemic, because we are just kind of sitting at home, and all the weight that we've gained, that mindless eating is just going to make it a lot worse. So my biggest piece of advice is be intentional with the foods that you eat. Make sure that it's structured and you stick to the plan, stick to the discipline of your structured meals, and try not to just eat mindlessly. And a lot of that eating mindlessly is, number one, out of boredom, and number two, out of because it's there. I'm not really hungry, it's just there and it tastes good, so I'm gonna just keep eating it. So those are my two biggest advices. Just try to stop eating mindlessly and stick to a structured meal schedule, meal regimen. If you eat 4 times a day, make sure it's just that 4 times a day, and try not to mindlessly snack in between meals. Yeah.
Okay, what about the sodas and these like, let's say Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi? We have what are the other options, like the juice that says 100 calories? Are those good to do or no?
So I stopped drinking sodas probably about 12 years ago. And I'm gonna just say, if you are on your healthy, fitness, weight loss journey, the best thing you can do for yourself is not to drink your calories. It's like a waste. You want to look at your calories that you intake as fuel, and drinking your calories is just a waste of sugar and just empty calories. So even the diet stuff, because the diet stuff can even be bad for the acidity in your stomach. It can cause some gastrointestinal stuff to happen. And even the juices, the orange juice and the apple juice, people think that they're doing themselves a favor because it comes from fruit, but it's so much added sugar. I want you to think of it as drinking liquid candy. That's what juice is. It's literally liquid candy. So I don't buy juice, not even the ones that say 100 calories. I don't buy sodas. I might every once in a while buy sparkling water, that tastes kind of like soda.
Right.
But yeah, I leave all of the fake sugars and the real soda and juice alone. It's an easy way to cut out calories. So if you can taper yourself off of drinking your calories and stick to water, I'm always drinking water, always, always, always. If you can just taper off of that stuff and stick to drinking water. I remember when I first started this weight loss journey back in 2013, I was drinking sodas back then. And I stopped drinking sodas like cold turkey. And in the first 3 weeks, I lost 12 pounds. Just from, and that's all I did. I didn't work out. All I did was just cut out the sodas and I started drinking water. And that right there tells us what our bodies really need. Like, I didn't even have to do much, but my body was so appreciative that it just started shedding extra weight. So yeah, if you can temper yourself off of the liquid calories, sugar, acidity and that kind of stuff, and just kind of replace those drinks with a water or a green tea, your body would really, really, really appreciate it.
No coffee, right?
Oh, I love coffee.
Okay. So
Yeah, I love
coffee.
coffee.
Black
yes,
coffee.
But you gotta watch what you put in it, right?
Because I like a lot of creamer now.
Yeah, you gotta watch what you put in it. You gotta find you a really good creamer that doesn't have a lot of fake stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff you can't pronounce, and a lot of the creamers these days have oils in them, and that you want to kind of stay away from. My family does. My husband loves this almond milk based creamer. It has like maybe 5 or 6 grams of sugar, and he's replaced all his creamers with that, so that's pretty good. But just try to find something that has ingredients in it that you can pronounce.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Now, how do you juggle your schedule for food at home? Like, what's your menu for your whole family? Do you have them eat what you eat, or do you have a separate menu for them?
So I've bounced back and forth between both of those scenarios, Sarah. And I would love for my family to eat the way I eat, but that's just not realistic. That's not realistic all the time. So I've done it both ways. I've tried to have them eat exactly like me. Did not work out so well. But now I actually do prepare my own meals, and I prepare meals for my family. Now, I will say, I think you and I discussed the last time we talked about employing your family and have it be a family affair. So my daughter, who is 15, she cooks meals for her and her brothers and my husband. So she cooks the meals when I'm not able to get that part of it done. And that's a part of juggling. It's literally kind of delegating your responsibilities as the woman of the house. Look, I need help. Sometimes you can't do it all by yourself. So you got to know when to employ the help of your family members. But I typically like to either outsource my meal plan for myself, so I can have that time to cook meals for my family. But if I can't do that, my daughter does a fantastic job in baking chicken and making rice and vegetables and green. Like she does it all. So if I can't get to it, she does. But I like to do it on Sundays and Wednesdays, so it's not such an everyday chore. And that's how I juggle it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I pre-cook and I prep and I store it in containers and I stick them in the freezer or I stick it in the fridge. Yeah. And so everybody can just grab food when they're hungry. Yep.
That's
so Sundays and Wednesdays is when we cook.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. So as far as let's talk about a little bit about your training, your physical training. How are you able to do? I know it's a family effort, like you said, it has to be family teamwork. But as well as you working out, because I'm guessing you work out, what, 2-3 hours a day, every day, or?
Yeah. So I get up and get it done before the day gets started for everybody else. So my alarm clock goes off at like it's 3:45, but I typically get out of the bed before 4:30. And I'm at the gym by 5:30, and I'm back at home by 7:30. And by then, everybody's kind of up. getting on school buses or logging on to computers, trying to figure out, the start of the day. So that's worked for me, but that means I have to get to bed a little bit earlier. And I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you go to bed at what time? I typically am looking for my pillow around 9:30, 9 o'clock. But when you get up that early, your body will tell you when to go to sleep. So yeah, I get it. I get it done before everybody else gets up. And so that way I don't feel like I'm taking away from them so much. And I'm not like leaving them. I'm not away from the house as much. If they're asleep, they don't even know. Um, so I try to just make it home and, get the chores done, get the laundry put up, get the dishes out the dishwasher, make lunches, make breakfast or whatever is needed for the day.
Now let's backtrack a little bit. On your journey, when you made that transition that you said no more, you had gained 30 to 40 pounds. How did you start your routine?
So I was really uncomfortable going to the gym back then. So I bought a workout DVD set and I worked out in my living room for a whole year. Just popped those DVDs in. It was like a combat kickboxing DVD set from like Beachbody or something. But I sweated and worked just as hard, in my living room that I, do in the gym today. And I feel like that was important to have that time to myself, working, just me in the TV, no distractions, because it was really, moments where I was like, okay, you're really doing this. You're really, really doing this with no distractions. A couple mornings, I could cry to myself if I did not feel like, working out that morning and, just having a bad day or a bad week or whatever. I was able to cry and not feel crazy because somebody's looking at me on the other side of the gym, so I actually really, really, really enjoyed that time of reckoning with myself, trying to figure out, okay, are you strong enough to do this? Can you do this? And looking at myself and saying, yeah, you can. And it really, you don't have to have a gym membership. You don't have to have all these resources. Literally, it was one point in time where all I had was a jump rope and push-ups and, jumping jacks. Like I did body weight stuff. But, if you're determined, you really don't need a whole bunch. You just literally get to moving. That's all it's about, is just get to moving until you, get that heart rate up, feel a couple petals of sweat. And when you look up, 30 minutes has passed and you can stop. So yeah, that's how I started. It was really, really just really simple. Just me, the TV, and my sweat.
So how long did it take you to get from being 30, 40 pounds to who you are today?
So I've probably been maintaining my size today for like the last 3 years. So I will say I started in 2013, and then probably around 2017, I got comfortable and I started to gain the weight all back. And it was one of those, oh, I know what I'm doing. Oh, I know how to get it off. I'm just going to not go to the gym and just relax a little bit. I think I got bored and I got tired of having that daily regimen of going to the gym and working out and eating clean. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just tired. Let's just take a break from the gym. Let's take a break from clean eating. I want some pizza every day. I want tacos every day. I want burgers every day. And that's what I did. I literally did that. And that was in 2017. And in 2018, I looked up and I was probably 20 pounds heavier than I wanted to be. And so I got a personal trainer. I got a coach. And I told him, I said, I'm just bored. I'm bored with the gym rigmarole. I'm bored with doing the same stuff. I'm bored with my food and my dieting and my eating. I want something different. And that coach introduced me to bodybuilding, and that was what I needed to kind of get me out of the funk that I was in. So ever since 2018 to now, I've maintained my size and my figure and my physique. And it's literally, I had to learn that eating doesn't have to be so restrictive. And it doesn't have to be boring, and your gym workouts don't have to be boring and the same thing over and over and over again. And that's what bodybuilding taught me, that I can do different things and train different ways and eat lots of different things and not be bored, and still maintain the size and the look that I want.
There's I don't know, but bodybuilding, especially for Black women, is becoming, I feel, popular.
Mm-hmm.
People want to join it. What is it that it's so, I don't know, you see the woman's strength, their power, that the empowerment that a woman can have. What is it about all that, the strength and the commitment that you guys have to go through?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is the discipline. A lot of people get into it because it is the most challenging work you will ever do. It's the most discipline that I have ever employed in my life, hands down, bar none. It is mentally the hardest work you will ever do. And I think that challenge is what draws a lot of people to it. I think the second thing for Black women is it's outside of the norm. It's that, a lot of the Black community, they have this preconceived notion of what beauty is, and you kind of want to break out of that box. You want to break out of that box, and you want to say, if I have genetics that naturally, even without bodybuilding, if I have genetics that naturally make me look a little athletically built, but I'm not considered the standard for beauty because, I have broad shoulders or I have muscular legs. Where do I fit in? And they go to bodybuilding and they fit in perfectly. You know what I'm saying? So it's that I'm trying to break the standard of what beautiful is. I am beautiful just the way I am, or genetically. And I will say that genetically, I've always been muscular. So bodybuilding came easy to me. I said the third thing that draws people to bodybuilding, but I will say, like, when I hired that coach back in 2018, I told him, I said, look, I want to look like a bodybuilder, but I don't have any desire to be on stage. Like, I don't want to get on stage. I don't want to wear a bikini. I don't want people looking at me in a bikini. I don't want to stand in front of judges just so you could judge me in my bikini. Like, I just thought it was the most misogynistic, idiotic, like like that. It wasn't my personality at all. Like, strutting out there and showing your booty cheeks, like, that was not that was not my personality at all. I won't say that I was modest, but I wasn't like that, definitely not strutting myself in a bikini in front of nobody. But he literally looked at me and he said, you have the genetics for this. He said, if you don't compete, I'm not coaching you. So I was like, how are you gonna tell me how to spend my money? I'm telling you that I'm gonna pay you to coach me, and you telling me that you're gonna turn down my money if I don't get on stage? Like, who are you? Like, but then I said to myself, okay, so he has tons of, like, successful athletes. Like, he must see something in me, and thought to myself, why don't I see it? So I actually said, okay, I said, okay, I'm checking this box off the bucket list so I could tell my grandkids, girl, that one time I got on stage in a bikini. Literally, it was
You did it.
right, a bucket list item, but I won my very first show.
Nice.
And I was just like, I'm doing this again. Like, I was hooked after that. I was literally hooked after that. So I think it's number one, breaking the standard of, what's beautiful in our community. Number two, it's, that challenge of the best, most hardest disciplined work that you will ever do. And number three is just like literally kind of just, you kind of fall into it and you figure out, oh my gosh, I'm good at it. And this is just so much fun. But you're right, like the power and the confidence that comes along with it. It's a very awesome, tight-knit community of Black female bodybuilders. Like it's a lot of us, but once you uh, figure out, once you make friends with somebody, it's like, oh, that person knows that person, and that person, oh, I know that person too, and you really realize how small the community is, and it's so supporting, and so much love, and everybody kind of understands, the work that goes into it. So you kind of look at each other and get a nod, like, yeah, you got it. You look great. You look good. Um, so yeah, I just really could not imagine right now my life without that structure of bodybuilding. It's just something that I didn't know that I would love, but I absolutely love.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So Rhonda, if anyone wants to get in contact with you, how do they get in contact with you on social media?
Yeah, so our Facebook page is Mass Elevation Training. My personal Facebook is Rhonda Brown Massey, Coach Rowe. And my Instagram is I am Coach Rowe. And our website is masselevationtraining.com.
I will also provide that information on the comment section as well as on the flyer. Rhonda, again, thank you so much for doing this interview with us. It's been a pleasure. And I've definitely taken personally those jewels of knowledge that you provided for all of us.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much.
Of course, of course. Have a good one.
You too.